continue to watch over us and guide us as we continue to make difficult decisions which will benefit all of our students. Amen. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
May we have a roll call, please?
Mr. Olsemer?
Here.
Mr. Gershie?
Here.
Mr. Gogolski?
Here.
Mr. Enslin? Mrs. Fiorella?
Here.
Mr. Cadenzi?
Present.
Mr. Hope?
Here.
Mr. McDonough?
Excused.
Mr. Schaefer?
Here.
Mr. Adams?
Here.
Dr. Barrett?
Here.
Ms. Emmett is here. Mr. Blum?
Excused.
Mrs. Donahue?
Here.
Ms. Veliski?
Here.
Mrs. Miller?
Excused.
Mr. Gregorski?
Here.
Ms. Watson?
Here.
Mrs. LaRosa?
Here.
Mrs. Price?
Here.
Mrs. Gregory?
Here.
Mrs. Liptak? Here. Mr. Seaman?
Here.
Mr. President, you have 8 board members present.
Okay, thank you. May I have a motion for item number 5, please?
I move that we approve the minutes of the regular board meeting held on May 23rd, 2016.
I'll second that.
A motion has been made and second. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Any abstaining? Motion carries unanimously. May I have a motion for item number 6, please?
I move to accept the treasurer's reports, general and food service accounts.
I'll second it. Motion has been made and seconded. Are there any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no.
No.
Are there any abstaining? Motion carries by a vote of 6 to 2. Just for the record. May I have a motion for item number 7, please?
I move to approve the bills from the general account, food service account, and construction account.
I'll second it. Motion has been made and seconded. Are there any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor, vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no.
No.
Are there any abstaining? Motion carries under vote 6 to 2. Item number 11. Is there anyone from the public that cares to address the board?
I do.
Okay, please stand and state your name, please.
My name is Linda Herman. I'm a resident here in South Canaan. I'd like to talk to you about the school tax that you just keep hitting us with. You have devalued our properties. We cannot sell them, and that's a fact. 3 realtors turned me down because they said the taxes here are equal to a house in Abington or a mansion on Montage. My taxes are $9,000 a year. There's a house up the road here. It's been for sale for 5 years. It's across the street from the old school building. $10,653 a year are taxes on it. Now, maybe some of you don't care, but I can't do it anymore. And I've lived here for 27 years. My parents originally bought the property in 1961. I don't see where the taxes are equal to the income. I'd like to see what your median income study has been that gives you the liberty to keep raising our taxes, because Wayne County happens to be one of the poorest counties in this entire state, and yet Western Wayne has one of the highest school budgets and the highest school teachers in the state. And we can't afford this, but you people just keep hitting us with these taxes, and it's not fair. So what does your median income per capita study say is the median income of this area that gives you the liberty to keep raising our taxes? Because You're taxing people out of their homes, yet we can't sell our homes. They're saying take $100,000 loss on your property and maybe you could find somebody. That's not fair, and that's what is happening here. And enough people don't have the courage to stand up and speak out about it. But I'd like to know where you people keep coming up with this idea that you can just tax the hell out of us. Where are we supposed to come up with this money? Now, you want to raise the taxes again. You know, you have all kinds of programs here, like this is a country club instead of a school. I mean, all your sports. There's school districts here that don't have sports teams, you know, because the people can't afford it. In Mount Pocono, the Pocono School District, excuse me, 2 years ago, they laid off 70 teachers. They couldn't raise the taxes because the people can't afford it. So what did your per capita median income study come up with that says that people can afford this continual increase in taxes? What is that? Where is that? I mean, you have to have that. You can't just keep taxing people without a ceiling of what people can afford. Do you understand? You understand, I see you.
Sure. I mean, per capita income and real estate taxation there is no direct relationship. We don't have an earned income tax here because when you get to later on in the budget, there are 4,120 permanent homesteads in our district out of 17,700 parcels. On our per capita income, we went through a pretty extensive presentation last August and September. It was about $29,900 per family, which is low. However, you know, all of the data that we have looked at and gone through it was less taxing for the residents who live here, who have the least ability to pay, was to raise real estate taxes as opposed to income taxes. If we went to an income tax, for example, which was discussed at the last work session, if the average per capita income of the residents who live here is $29,000, 1% would drive $290. Okay, that's what, and the corresponding reduction in real estate taxes based on the average assessment was only going to be about $20. And so what was happening is you have, you know, the $1 million estates on Lake Wallenpaupack for somebody who in Salem Township who lives on Wall, you know, works on Wall Street and lives in Long Island and it's their second home, would get a substantial tax break, yet no income tax would come with it. So, but you know, earned income and real estate taxes are they're not parallel. They don't. One doesn't matter to the other. And I'll continue with, I know with some of your you know, the other things, the questions. As far as devaluation, you know, devaluation isn't necessarily associated directly with real estate taxation. For example, I'll use my own home. My own home, I know exactly what I put in it to build it in 2005, and I had it recently appraised, and it was $200,000 less in value. That had nothing to do with the taxation, it had everything to do with the financial crisis and the impeding real estate market losses that occurred in North Jersey and suburban Philly and Connecticut, which is where the people who come here to buy the higher end homes and other homes, that's where generally the source of revenue comes for that. So that dried up because of the economy and the financial crisis, and so therefore the real estate market here took a big hit. And secondarily, there aren't a lot of places to work. Obviously, we all know that, and that's a big concern. You know, some of the things that have happened locally recently, Salem Township, you know, has a new business coming in. It's the first substantial new business in a long time. We're hoping that continues. Some other things, you know, from a taxation standpoint, nobody likes taxes, obviously, and everybody in this room, you know, doesn't like raising real estate taxes. Nobody likes raising taxes. The fact of the matter is, there are 500 school districts in the state of Pennsylvania. We are ranked 460th lowest tax. Now, there are 40 that, and I know that doesn't matter for people who are already here, but the reality is if you think you can go somewhere else and some other school district, based on the market value of your house and go to a similar house there, there's only 40 that are cheaper than we are. And those 40 have earned income taxes, and they have other Act 511 taxes, nuisance taxes, occupational privilege. We are, you know, very much aware that the local taxpayer and all taxpayers in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania are stretched. And the reality also is that I started in the school business in 1988. At that time, the state's share of public education was 42%. The Constitution says it's going to be 50. It's now 33. So the mandates kept coming, and all the things that were associated with ongoing educational expenses that are required by law to have. And there are things that we don't have to have. You know, we don't have to have transportation. We live in a district that's 220 square miles. And if we eliminate transportation, sure, we can save $900,000. Our total athletic and co-curricular, all student activity type items, is less than 2% of our budget. It's about $900,000. So, you know, that alone would reduce our taxes from 100% of where they currently are to about 98. All the other things that are out there that are required by law and that are required from a curriculum standpoint and to allow our kids to be competitive for a career and for college, you know, are included in those things. And the issue is, you know, there's inflation, and I understand. There's inflation.
Like you're talking and talking and talking, and you just bulldozed right over what I said, because you said to me the median income here was $29,000. All right, so you're asking people to shell out over a sixth of their yearly income. If you do, well, no more than that. If the average person is $5,000 a year school tax.
The average school tax in our district is $1,600.
No, it isn't. Maybe for poor people or who live in a.
We have the math. I mean,
I know so many people. Well, then you know what? Give me that, and I'll shut up. But my taxes are over $7,000 a year. I don't even have a child. I never put a child in this school district. I don't want to. I wouldn't. So I want to. You're not fair with your median income study. You're way over for those of us who are paying high taxes. I mean, I know there's people in here who have to be paying. They're just afraid to stand up and speak up like I am. But you know, that was a lovely speech.
No,
but you didn't go right. Your taxes are not in line with your per capita median income. Then you're way over.
There are 4,120 permanent residents in our school district who filed for the homestead exemption. Now, just let me finish.
Where is 4,000 people going to come up with millions and millions and millions of dollars in taxes? You're killing us.
That 4,120 full-time resident homeowners.
Yes.
That's how many people applied for the homestead exemption. That means that you own a house and you claim it as your permanent residence. That's 4,120. The average tax on that is $1,683 of 4,000 people.
I haven't seen that in 9 years.
You may have a very premium, great property. I don't know, or then
I can't even sell it because of the taxes.
My suggestion would be, if you feel that your assessment is way high, which
I
you
went.
probably do.
I already went.
Did you appeal?
I went. They said that it goes with what you people have shelled out. I went.
We don't control the assessed value. That's controlled at the county level. If you
well,
are
assessed value, that's not even.
That's what drives the money.
If your assessed value on a house that's $239,000, all right, and I know several people, not all are here. If you're paying over $5,000 a year, almost $6,000 on a house worth $239,000, do you think that what you're doing here is fair? Because that's what many of my friends are paying who have houses in that price range. Most houses are in that price range today. You can't build a house for less than that. I mean, you're not being fair. And I don't know if you're on your cell phone.
No, I'm just telling you what a $239,000 house is going to pay in taxes.
Well, I'm telling you what we're being charged.
But you just said the average home is $239,000. So that
I'm saying on an average.
That would drive $3,990 in total school taxes.
Well, that's not what we're being charged.
Well, you're being charged based on your assessment, which is driven by the county
And even that,
assessor's office.
okay, you add that and then your property tax on top of that, you're already, then you're over $6,000 a year. Did you hear? So out of 39,000, you're saying 29,000 is the median income.
Mhm.
So then you're down to 23,000.
No, the average
Now, 6
household,
minus 20, let's be real here, let's not
the av-
sugarcoat.
I'm not sugarcoating anything, I have the facts. The average household pays $663 in taxes, and that's a 4,120
Everybody
people.
that pays that.
Well, there are 4,120 people who are full-time residents of our school district, and that's the average that they pay. I don't know, there must be some that pay a lot less, and there must be some that pay more, but that's what the average homestead in our district at $166,000 assessed value, that's what they pay. I don't know where else to go. I know that you know, if you're paying that kind of money, you have a very high assessment, because the millage is 16.702
No, I'm assessed at 239. That's what I'm saying, and I know some
If
11
you're
people
assessed
are
at
in that.
239, at 239,000 is your current assessment, then your school tax bill is gonna be $3,991.
No, my school tax bill is it's a little over 6.
Well, then there's
there's
an
something
error with
wrong.
the assessment, and
All right, but
we'll
still,
gladly look
even
into that.
3,900,
Mhm.
do you realize that's almost it's like $375 a month that a family has to put out, or a person has to put aside, just for school tax. All right, that's a lot of money, because that 29 that you're talking about really is about 20, 18 that you bring home. Okay? Okay,
Mhm.
so then deduct your school taxes out of that, and then what do people live on? $200 a week? You think that children can live on that? No, people can't raise a family on that. So you need to act more responsibly here and not squander taxpayers' money. You need to listen to people and hear and act like what the people in Mount Pocono did. The school board laid off 70 teachers. They cut back because they had to, because the people can't afford it anymore. Again, you're building new schools. Did we even finish paying off the Hamlin Elementary School before you built the Green School? Or are we still paying on that? Were you responsible, and did the $30 million it cost us to build, did you sell it for more than $2 million, $3 million? No. You keep doing this stuff, even the Lake School. The hundreds of thousands of dollars a year it cost us to maintain, you turned around and sold it for pittance. So us taxpayers have to eat that. That is irresponsible on your behalf to do that to us people. You have to act more responsibly. It's just not fair, and there's not enough people that have the courage to stand up, and you're ignoring me, and that's fine. Now you are, I can tell you are, and that's your decision.
That's it. Ms. Herman, please sit down.
Yes, I will.
Is there anyone else?
Pocono Mountain, by the way, is the 59th highest tax school district in the state of Pennsylvania, and we're the 460th lowest. So if you think you can go to Pocono Mountain and save money, they're the 59th highest, we are the 460th
I didn't say
lowest.
save money, they did the responsible thing and they cut back. It would be nice of you people to cut back, instead of running a country club, run a school.
Okay, thank you very much. There's other people that
Now,
want.
there was some people.
Mr. Lindo?
My name's David Lindo. I live over in Gravity. I'm not afraid to tell you what I pay in taxes. I have a 2,500 square foot house with a big basement, and I have a 4,000 square foot barn that I operate a business out of. I operate as a commercial property as well as my residence. Because we have no zoning, I don't have to claim it as a commercial property. I don't get the Homestead Farmstead Act, but I pay under $2,500 a year in school tax on 2 acres. I'm not lucky.
Oh, on 2 acres.
I'm not lucky. If I had a property that I was paying $6,000 a year on, I would consider myself very lucky, because it's going to be a lot more palatial than that. If you're going to consider the average income, you need to consider the average tax. Apples with apples and oranges with oranges. So if you're making $30,000 a year, you're not going to be sitting on 15, 20, 30 acres, unless you inherited it or something. And that's the problem. And the problem is that the state has ruined the pension system. The pensions are now nearly 30%. And what they've done in the last couple of years is they've taken the fund balance from almost zero and they've created a fund balance that this year they can pull money out of from the fund balance and subsidize your taxes. And keeping taxes lower.
Are you in Lake Township?
I'm in Lake Township.
Okay.
And so
South
keeping,
Canaan Township is taxed
But they're-
higher
but-
because we have all these
because
nonprofits.
they've restored the fund balance, they're able to subsidize the tax increase and keep taxes lower than the average inflation. Inflation is going up like crazy. I can take you right into my business and show you where everything is skyrocketing.
Well, then
it's-
you
it's
should be
bad.
paying more if you're running a business then. I mean,
I
I
am
would
paying-
gladly
I
pay
am
your
paying
tax.
more.
Your tax is wonderful.
I am paying more because I don't get the Homestead Farmstead Act. I'm punished by that because I have my business next to my home.
So you get
And
too
I'm
much.
grateful that I don't have to pay an earned income. I don't have to pay it out, because I have a job here. I don't have to pay that tax. There are many taxes we don't pay. But we're one of the lowest tax
Well,
districts
maybe
in
you
the
are,
state.
but I'm telling you a fact. Realtors have told me they cannot. You
So-
drive around South Canaan over here, and there's every 4 houses is for sale because nobody can afford these taxes, and nobody can sell their
But
houses.
if the taxes here are lower than they are across the state, and I go
No.
across the state all the time, I'm telling you, my taxes, there's no business person I know that pays that low a tax where they operate their business.
Well, maybe you have a little house, maybe, I don't know.
The
what your
2,500
house is,
square foot
but
house
you're
is
in a
small for
different-
some people, but it's not small for me. I got 4 kids and we have plenty of space for all of us.
Okay,
You
good
know,
for you.
I can't tell you
Good for
why you're
What
paying so
about
much,
the
but
rest of us who are getting hammered?
I don't know. I would
See,
go talk
there's
to
the
no one.
answer.
But the fact is, if you look at what they've done a remarkable job. How do you go from 0 fund balance, virtually 0, all the way to what they've done?
By hitting us over the head with taxes. We've paid out to give them the excess money.
All right, is there anyone else from the public that, yes, sir?
Roger Schaefer Senior, as most all of you know. Seems to me as if you've made up your minds, all of you, to raise the taxes, which is going to happen no matter what. I have a business, as you all know. I've been getting hit on a weekly basis. Every time I talk to a customer, prices going down, 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 to the tune of $1,000 a load of lumber per week, for one customer. I don't know how much longer I'm gonna be able to sustain eating that. The electric bill has been relatively good. The insurances have all gone up, as everybody else's. And it's getting tougher and tougher. And you folks just keep having a blank check with my signature and every other taxpayer's. I don't know how much longer people are gonna stay in business in this county. I can't have the option, the luxury of raising the price of my material. If I do raise anything that I have control of, I hurt the people that can least afford it, the local people. They're not gonna patronize me if I keep raising prices. They're gonna say, see ya, we'll do something different. Which, how can I do this with the school, my taxes? If next thing you know, poof, we're gonna put a lien on your property, we're gonna take your property. That's it, it's gone. So everybody says, oh, you got all this property, sell some. I'm gonna make you all an offer. I'm gonna donate to the school a certain amount of property that is no good to me. I'm paying taxes on